If you're tuning in, you're likely dreaming of working in the US. But let's be honest, the path isn't as straightforward as many of you want to believe. You probably have heard the usual discussions about needing a work visa and that an employer has to sponsor it and all that jazz. But what if I told you that the system is not entirely in your favor? But it is not entirely not in your favor either. So what do I really mean? Let's find out. Hey folks, I'm Simon Shetty, your host and the founder of the Smart Green Card program. And here's the surprising truth. You can actually secure a work visa in the United States without really needing an employer or the employer sponsorship or even a job offer. That sounds unbelievable, right? Let me break that down, but wait, there's actually more to this. Let's dive into the top 5 US work visas for skilled workers and challenge your perceptions about the other options out there. First up, there's the H-1B visa. You probably heard about it, right? It's that visa that a lot of people talk about at family gatherings, especially among Indians. So have you ever found yourself in a conversation about it, wondering if it could be your golden ticket? I'm sure you have definitely been in such a conversation. You might know it at least from someone in your family who has worked in the US, and on this visa it's usually sparking a lively discussion at desi parties or any immigrant parties out there. So what is the real deal with the H-1B visa and who can really get it? Well, imagine you're an engineer, a doctor, or a lawyer, or maybe you even work in tech, right? So if you got a job offer in the US, chances are that your employer will sponsor you for an H-1B visa. It's like getting a golden ticket to a whole new adventure, at least for the next few years. So now the H-1B visa is a non-immigrant visa and it lets you work and live in the United States legally for up to 3 years. And after that, you usually extend it for another 3 years. So you could also be looking at a total of 6 years on an H-1B. But here's what you really need to qualify for the H-1B though. You have got to have a job from a US employer that needs specialized knowledge. You also will need proof of a bachelor's degree or equivalent experience in your field. Your employer has to show that there aren't enough qualified US workers available for that role. What else? Basically, that's nothing else. But then this is usually plenty of restrictions placed on you in the pursuit of your H-1B visa itself. But here's the catch though. Getting an H-1B visa isn't really as easy as it sounds. As you know, did you know that each year only 85,000 of these visas are handed out? Well, that includes those for folks with a master's degree or higher also. And the whole process starts with a lottery system, which basically means that unfortunately many talent applications end up not getting picked. And are you really feeling this kind of a pressure around your H-1B lottery? Don't worry though, there is a way around it. So you want to work in the US, but you are worried about the H-1B lottery, right? So here's some good news. There's something called the H-1B cap exempt status. So if you get sponsored by an employer that's exempt from this cap, then you skip the lottery and the annual limit of 85,000 visas. Imagine that relief. Your employer can actually file your H-1B petition anytime during that fiscal year. Much less stress, right? Are you actually curious about who qualifies though for this cap exempt employer? Let me lay that out for you as well. First of all, there's higher educational institutions. Then there's non-profit organizations linked to universities. And then there's government research organizations and also non-profit research organizations as well. Just remember though, for-profit companies don't really count. So if you land a job with one of these organizations, you're on a smoother path to your US career. With the H-1B visa, your spouse and children can join you in the United States on H-4 visas. And here's the kicker though, your spouse can work too while you chase your career dreams as well. But however, I want to kind of alert you that the H-1B cap exempt status on paper looks like a very smooth journey, but it comes with slight challenges of its own as well. For example, most H-1B cap exempt employers are research institutions or non-profit institutions. So what do they usually do? They don't pay you that much. So when they are not paying you that much, obviously you cannot switch your job to a cap subject employer while you are on a cap exempt employer. And a lot of people easily get their cap exempt H-1B, but then they get stuck in this dilemma of not being able to move jobs, and then they regret being on the cap exempt in the first place. So just think wisely before you go into that cap exempt status. Are you thinking about options beyond the H-1B visa though? The L1 could actually be just what you are looking for. Picture this. After all your hard work at a well-known company back home, you finally get the chance to bring your skills to a US office of the same company. How exciting is that, right? So with this L1 visa, your initial stay is typically 3 years for both the L1A, which is for executive or manager, and L1B, which is for a specialized knowledge category visa. And the good news is that extensions are possible over here. Imagine a future where you are thriving in your US career for up to 7 years in this case. Just keep in mind that the total stay is limited to 7 years for the L1A and 5 years for the L1B, as long as you meet certain criteria over there. But before you dive in, it is important to know that both you and your employer need to meet some specific requirements here. I know, right? Requirements. It should be there, obviously. So for you, the employee, you should be working for a qualifying multinational company that's connected to your US employer, and you must be employed by the foreign entity for at least 1 year within the past 3 years, and this experience needs to be outside the United States. For your employer though, your US employer needs to have a parent company or a subsidiary or an affiliate or even a branch relationship with the foreign entity, and they should be actively doing business in the United States. They should also have a physical office or facility in the US. Lastly, they will need to extend a valid job offer and file an L1 petition with USCIS. And with an L1 visa, your spouse and unmarried children under 21 can receive L2 status as your dependents. Imagine the whole family starts a new chapter together, and this allows your spouse to apply for employment authorization and work in the United States as well. So if you're excited about making this move, just make sure that you and your employer are aligned, are on the same page on meeting these requirements for these visa categories. Are you tired of the H1B lottery or stuck because the L1 isn't really an option? Don't worry, there is still hope over here. Even if other people say that there isn't, you can secure a US work visa based on your expertise. That the O1A visa could be your ticket. Let me explain this as well. The O1A visa is for individuals with extraordinary abilities in the fields like sciences, education, sports, or business, athletics, whatever the field may be. And if I told you that there is no lottery, no cap, and you can renew it indefinitely, that sounds like a dream to you, right? But are you wondering how to qualify for an O1A visa? You need to meet at least 3 out of 8 criteria, and these are all listed in the USCIS website, so I won't waste time narrating those to you, but they are kind of like winning awards, original contributions, publications, media coverage, maybe high salary as well, playing a critical role in your workplace. All of these things count in the criteria that you want to go after. Your accomplishments must show national or international recognition, and the real question here is, are you up for that challenge? Now imagine having the freedom to work in the United States without being tied to a specific employer. That's exactly what the EB1A visa is, also known as the EB1A green card, and that offers a direct path to US permanent residency, which is the golden words that people want to hear. Now, the best part here is that you can take control of your immigration journey by filing your EB1A petition yourself with USCIS without needing any employer sponsor over there. And think about skipping this long, stressful perm process, which can take 6 to 18 months to be honest. And because the EB1A doesn't require labor certification, you can change jobs while your green card is being processed. And that is the level of flexibility that the EB1A green card offers you. To qualify, you only need to meet 3 out of the 10 EB1A criteria, similar to the O1A visa, but that has just 8 total criteria, and show that your work has earned national or international recognition. And it's a powerful way to secure your future while building your career on your own terms. Now, are you thinking about pursuing a master's degree in the US though? And that is, we have created a guide specifically for international students, a free guide, completely free guide that makes it simple to navigate the path to obtaining your US green card. And the best part though, it's completely free. You can find the link to download the guide in the description below, and we truly hope that it helps you in your journey. Now, let's talk about the Smart Green Card program, because why not? Right? So I moved to the US to get my master's degree, and I really wanted to land an H1B visa. I missed multiple chances to get the H1B lottery, and I had to turn to the O1A option. And even if you have an H1B, it isn't easy as it sounds. You've only got 60 days to find a new job. If you get laid off, you are stuck with one employer. You can't really start your own company, and the visa renewals, that's super frustrating. The stamping, ask anyone who has gone through a stamping journey, nobody will be thrilled about it. Everyone has faced faced their own share of frustrations in that process, and it coming in the way and eating up so many days in your vacation abroad as well, visiting family, whatever it may be. And that is when I found out about the EB1A green card path as well, which is all about showing off your skills and expertise to qualify for this coveted visa. And I really hustled to build my EB1A profile with all the prior accomplishments that I actually had legitimately. And when my attorney dropped the ball on my case, I took matters in my own hands. I wrote my entire petition myself, and guess what? I finally got my EB1A green card approval. Since then, I've been getting tons of messages on social media about people looking for help for their EB1A profiles, and that is exactly why I created the Smart Green Card program. My team and I have helped over 75 awesome, amazing individuals from different fields build their solid EB1A profiles until now, and every single one of them got approved. So if you need help in crafting a standout EB1A green card profile that shows off your extraordinary abilities and your skills and legitimately helps you qualify for the EB1 and unlock a whole new possibility of freedom in your life, check out the VIP plan of the Smart Green Card program. And here's something cool though. You can apply for the EB1A green card without needing employer sponsorship, and you can do it even from outside the United States. Now, who will benefit from our videos really? If you are dreaming of working in the United States and making it your permanent home, you are definitely in the right spot. We cover all the latest updates on US immigration and give daily tips to help you out on your EB1A green card journey. So go ahead and subscribe to our channel and let's chase that American dream together.